Stranger Things Season 1 in 5 minutes. Hey guys, welcome back to yet another amazing video. If you're a fan of films from the 1980s, Netflix's Stranger Things series will feel very familiar and in very satisfying ways. Stranger Things is all set to return for its 4th season this summer, and for today's video we decided why not go down memory lane and review Season 1. Here's everything you need to know about Stranger Things Season 1 in 5 minutes. Stay tuned. It's 1983 in Hopkins, Indiana, home to the Hawkins National Laboratory, where they are clearly up to some shady business. You know, the typical 80s thing, seeing as a scientist gets obliterated by something. Across town, after a 10-hour marathon of BND, Will Byers leaves his friends Mike, Dustin, and Lucas and heads home, but along the way, he encounters the creature from Hawkins' lab. Everyone eventually calls it the Demogorgon, so let's just go with that. The monsters corners him in his garage, and just as the power starts to surge and die out, Will disappears. The next day, Will's mom Joyce reports her boy missing, and her old friend Chief Hopper gets right on the case. While the search parties prove unsuccessful, Joyce gets a distorted call that seems to be from Will, which causes the light in the house to go haywire. Meanwhile, the folks at the Hawkins National Laboratory, led by creepy Dr. Brenner, are working on figuring out how the Demogorgon escaped. The Demogorgon wasn't the only one that escaped either. Along with the monster, a mysterious girl named Eleven was also found missing. She happened to be one of a number of lab's experiments. Turns out she's telekinetic, so that's cool. Mike, Lucas, and Dustin finds her in the woods and bring her back to Mike's house to hide her. Eleven seems to know that Will is hiding somewhere from the Demogorgon, but it's unclear just where that is. We get a clue though after Barb, the best friend of Mike's sister Nancy, disappears in the same fashion as Will after a party at Nancy's boyfriend Steve's house. She's hunted down by the Demogorgon in a dark, scary version of Steve's backyard. Back at the Byers' house, Joyce does some insane house decorations, creating a Christmas light Ouija board that Will is able to communicate with. He tells Joyce that he is right here and to run because the Demogorgon's tearing through the wall, but we aren't sure as to if it could be Will. This is because the authorities pull his dead body out of the water at the town quarry. Nobody buys that it's really Will for long though. Eleven uses their power to help the boys. Here Will and Hopper breaks into the town morgue, cutting open the body pulled out of the quarry and confirming that unless he had a disorder which replaced organs with cotton, this is definitely not Will Byers. The boys figure out that the real Will is in the dark mirror versions of Hawkins, which they and Eleven call the Upside Down. Turns out that there are a few gates into this world like the one in Hawkins' lab and another that Nancy and Will's brother Jonathan find in a tree. Hopper's investigations into Will's disappearance and the cover-up being orchestrated from the lab lead him and Joyce to a woman named Terry Ives. Though Terry has been catatonic for years, her sister says Terry believed Dr. Brenner stole her daughter right after birth because she had psychic powers. Powers that we are learning also granted her access to a void which she can use to protect herself through space to spy on people like Russians. Sounds like a Cold War theme. However, this void leaves her vulnerable to the forces of the Upside Down, and an encounter with the Demogorgon caused her to open the gate to the other world. In Hawkins' lab, Dr. Brenner and his agents finally locate Eleven and try to apprehend her. But when you're trying to catch a girl who can tear holes in the fabric of reality, you need to do a little better than a utility damage. Hopper finds the kids and reunites them with Joyce, Jonathan, and Nancy. They go to the town's middle school where Eleven has been constructed a sensory deprivation tank out of a kiddle pool so she can enter a void to find Will and Barb. She finds Barb first and turns out she's super dead. She locates Will hiding in the upside down versions of his fort just long enough to tell him help is on the way before she loses her connections to the void. Hopper and Joyce try to break into the lab to travel to the Upside Down by Dr. Brenner's agents. Hopper agrees to tell Brenner where Eleven is and to keep quiet about the lab's activity in exchange for being led through the gate and into the Upside Down. Dr. Brenner and his agents storm through the middle school to take Eleven. It doesn't go their way, and all that carnage attracts the Demogorgon, who bursts through the wall and attacks Dr. Brenner. It corners Eleven and the boys in a classroom, but Eleven uses her power to destroy it, but she vanishes in the process. Fortunately, the kids, Hopper and Joyce, find Will and bring him home. He seems fine at least for a month or so. That's when he cuffs up some kind of nasty slug and just for a second slips back into the Upside Down. And that's how Season 1 of Stranger Things ends. That's everything you need to know about Season 1 of Stranger Things. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching.